right now outside our studios right here at Shipyard Boulevard. You can see these protesters are preparing for our debate that's going to be happening here tonight. The Senate candidates for U.S. Senate. So protesters already gathering, getting ready for this debate. WECT News at 5:30 starts right now with a preview of the debate.
Where news comes first. This is WECT News at 5:30. Streaming live on WECT.com and on the WECT News app.
All right, tonight, the candidates vying to represent you in the U.S. Senate will be here in the WECT studios for their final debate before Election Day. Democrat Kay Hagan and Republican Thom Tillis have faced off before, but this is the first televised debate that includes the Libertarian candidate, Sean Haugh. What effect could he have on this race and on what you will hear tonight? WECT's John Evans and Justin Smith are here to preview the big debate.
Well, Ashley, that's the question that a lot of people want to know. Sean Haugh, for the first time, gets to stand on the stage with Kay Hagan and Thom Tillis, and he's polling, Justin, anywhere between 3 and 7 points in this race, with Senator Hagan and Speaker Tillis about 2 to 3 to 4 points away. So he'll have an impact on this race.
He will, and I think judging by some of his stances that he's taken, in some regards he could siphon votes away from Tillis, but in other areas, pro-life, for instance, he could take votes away from Hagan. So it's really a wild card situation.
And as we were talking earlier, Thom Tillis and Kay Hagan have both been on the stage for 2 debates already. In the second one earlier this week, most people who watched it believe that Senator Hagan was more aggressive the second time than when you saw her during the first debate in Raleigh.
She certainly was, and so you've got to expect that Thom Tillis is going to be prepared for that, and that he too could be more aggressive tonight.
This is the as Ashley said, the final debate, expected debate between the candidates for this campaign. So I would think that the candidates want to leave people with an impression that they can take away 4 weeks, less than 4 weeks now before Election Day.
Yeah, I think so. And, we've heard the same talking points over and over, with Tillis trying to tie Hagan to the president, and with Hagan saying that basically Tillis has taken North Carolina in the wrong direction. What I'm going to be looking for tonight is to see if they say anything new, anything that we haven't heard. Maybe they have been stockpiling some zingers and some attack lines, and maybe we'll hear those tonight.
Well, we'll be talking about the stories that have made headlines not only in North Carolina but all around the world. The ISIS threat and same-sex marriage is now a big story in North Carolina this week. That, hopefully, we will get to that question tonight as well. So there's a lot to watch. We'll not only have it right here on WECT, but we will also be streaming it live starting at 7 o'clock tonight on WECT.com and the WECT News mobile app.
From WECT and the League of Women Voters of the Lower Cape Fear, this is a Decision 2014 special report, the U.S. Senatorial Forum. Here is your moderator, John Evans.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the WECT studio in Wilmington for this Decision 2014 special report. I'm John Evans of WECT TV. Along with the League of Women Voters of the Lower Cape Fear, we've brought together the 3 candidates running for U.S. Senate. Over the next hour, they're going to discuss the issues making headlines along with the other topics of this 2014 campaign. And here's how it's going to work. Our first question of the evening we will address to Speaker Tillis. And it's really the elephant in the room question. I want to begin with this, Speaker Tillis. The recent claims both you and Senator Hagan have made about missing meetings or voting sessions to attend other events. How high a priority is attending all committee meetings or all House sessions when you're an elected public servant?
I tell you, the highest priority has to be when you have the threat of ISIS, you show up for work. When you miss more than half of your committee meetings, when you sit on the Armed Services Committee, and you know that ISIS is the threat that it's emerged to be, you show up for work. Senator Hagan's missed more than half of those meetings. And we found out this week, 2 days ago, just after the debate, that Senator Hagan put a cocktail fundraiser on Park Avenue ahead of a classified briefing where these threats were being discussed.
Sir, Senator Hagan, your answer.
You know, John, Speaker Tillis's hometown newspaper has called on him to resign because of the number of days he missed at the General Assembly because he was out fundraising. I am well informed on these issues, but I think Speaker Tillis has been spineless because he will not say what he would do. He is not saying whether he would arm and train the rebels or whether he would put boots on the ground.
Thank you, ma'am.
I am decisive.
Thank you, ma'am. Speaker Tillis, your response, 30 seconds.
Yeah, you know, that liberal newspaper's been wanting me to resign ever since I got sworn in as Speaker. That's nothing new. What is new is Senator Hagan's admission that she decided that a Park Avenue fundraiser was more important than a classified briefing on the threat of ISIS.
And we need to have other kinds of solutions and bring other kinds of voices into Washington that are going to give us options besides just trying to bomb all of our problems out of existence, since that's obviously not working.
Thank you, sir. Senator Hagan, your response, 30 seconds.
Once again, John, people in North Carolina know that I do my homework and I am well briefed on all of these issues. Not only has Speaker Tillis, his hometown newspaper, called on him to resign, he did in fact miss days when important tax policy changes were voted on, and he could have had an impact.
Mr. Ha, the next question goes to you, sir. 60 seconds for your answer. Both the Democratic and Republican parties in this state have filed ethics complaints against the senator and the speaker, claiming they benefited financially from votes they cast in the Senate and the State House. Do you think your two opponents cast those votes knowing they would benefit financially from them?
Well, I can't really quite say that precisely. I do find it fascinating that people are willing to spend upwards of $50 million or more to try to get somebody elected to a job that only pays $170,000 a year.
Senator Hagan, 60 seconds.
You know, John, I have no role in my husband's business. I've got a job that keeps me pretty busy. And, you know, when I look at this issue, it's incredulous to me that Speaker Tillis is attacking me on this issue when, in fact, the same Recovery Act tax credits that he's attacking me on, he benefited on one of his investments. You know, I had no part, and my office had no part in this grants awarding process. Hundreds of companies across North Carolina applied for and received similar grants. What I did ask was for my husband to get the opinion of an ethics attorney to be sure this was appropriate. He did so, and the lawyer said it was appropriate. So once again, this is a baseless attack that Speaker Tillis is hitting me on when he voted for these same Recovery Act tax credits and benefited.
Do you think he knowingly voted for them, or voted for them knowing he would profit financially?
You know, I think there's some other issues that there's an allegation on some real estate issues.
All right, I just wanted to seek clarification. Speaker Tillis, 60 seconds.
Senator Hagan, I never voted for stimulus. You did. You voted for it in 2009, and your family benefited through a $390,000 check to a family business. That's a reality. And then Senator Hagan's got to account for the decision she made and the benefit that her family had. I'll leave that to the voters to decide.
Do you think she voted for it knowing she would profit, sir?
I doubt it. Okay. But the real question is the judgment after you make a vote.
Okay.
Should you really have actually taken that extra step to have your family benefit from it?
Thank you, sir. Mr. Ha, your response, 30 seconds. Candidates, we're going to move on to our closing statements in the order as again predetermined by the drawing. So we will move now for the closing statement, the first closing statement of no more than 90 seconds. Speaker Thom Tillis, the Republican candidate. Speaker Tillis.
Thank you, John, and thanks to the League of Women Voters for making this debate happen, and thanks to Sean and for Senator Hagan for sharing the stage.
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to change the direction of this country, I hope you'll vote for Thom Tillis. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. For our next closing statement, we will move to Sean Ha, the Libertarian candidate. Mr. Ha, 90 seconds.
Oh, thank you so much. I've really been enjoying this experience and I appreciate being here. And you know, sometimes I get the Democrats and Republicans confused too.
Mr. Ha, and for our final closing statement of the evening, 90 seconds, Senator Kay Hagan, the Democratic candidate. Senator.
Thank you, John. And Mr. Ha, we're certainly glad you're here with us tonight. I ask for your vote. Thank you.
Senator Kay Hagan, Sean Ha, Speaker Thom Tillis, thank you for donating your time this evening and joining us here in Wilmington. On behalf of WECT and the League of Women Voters of the Lower Cape Fear, once again, thank you to the candidates for being here, and thank those of you who have watched the forum on the air and online. And as Senator Hagan just said, registration to vote in the general election ends tomorrow across North Carolina. One-stop voting begins in North Carolina October 23rd, ends November the 1st. And of course, Election Day is November the 4th. Thank you for watching this Decision 2014 special report. I'm John Evans in Wilmington. God bless you and have a good night.
Simple enough.
The WECT League of Women Voters Forum gave Libertarian Sean Hall his first chance to stand shoulder to shoulder with the two leading Senate candidates wanting to represent you in the nation's capital, a place Hall believes has too much control in everything ranging from the economy to marriage.
It is not my position to judge anyone for who they love or how they want to love them, as long as it's between consenting adults. Of course, I'm for gay marriage, and if you want to get married, mazel tov, I wish you every happiness.
Republican Tom Tillis differs from Hall on gay marriage, but agrees on shrinking the role of government.
If the president and Senator Hagan have their way, we will regulate ourselves out of a lot of beach access. You know, Senator Hagan supports the EPA's overreach, and it's become ridiculous.
While Tillis criticized Hagan's work in Washington, she went after what he's done in Raleigh.
Folks, do you know what his tax policy is doing? It's sending our teachers to Texas, our film jobs to Georgia, and our Medicaid dollars to 28 other states.
Hagan left after the debate without talking to reporters who asked Hall if he appeals more to Democrats or Republicans.
I think the divide is more between the political class and the real world. And I think that I appealed more to people in their daily lives.
And when it was Tillis's turn behind the mic, he repeated his claim that a vote for Hagan is a vote for the president.
Senator Hagan's on the ballot this year, but so are President Obama's policy. She votes with them 96% of the time.